It's the final road to Cheltenham. We're getting ever closer to those 4 fantastic days. The greatest show on turf. And hopefully, we're going to put in the direction of a few decent winners amongst the 28 races. Yes, I might be dressed like a country gentleman.
Oh, what are you going to say?
And as you can tell, Joel is with us as well. Great shoes. Look at them.
Can we see them in
Can
shot?
you see them, yeah?
Yeah, for anyone with a foot fetish.
What time does Jimmy Nail want them back?
Crocodile shoes. Thank you very much, Gordon Elliott.
Frankie's with us as well. I know you're going to be there and you're looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it. Can't wait. Best week of the year. And just want to get there now.
He certainly does. And you might have noticed, we've got a special guest with us as well, all the way from Ireland. Aidan's joined us, Long Shot Value on Twitter. And hopefully you're going to find us some big prize winners of the handicaps.
Yep, only interested in big prices and value in any of the races, so let's hope anyway.
Yeah, you'll get on well with Frankie then.
That's
why we brought him in.
Is Aidan only here to stop Frankie napping the 1 to 7 shots?
Well, it allows me to talk about some favourites now because Aidan's got my back. So together, make a good team.
Right, we're going to look at all the big races and we'll talk to the handicaps and the novice contests as well. We're going to start with the Gold Cup. We will come on to the champion very shortly. Obviously, sadly, no Constitution Hill we do know. But we are not going to know bet on all 28 races at Betfred. Right, Gold Cup it is. I'm going to start with Frankie, actually. Galloping Deschamps to retain his crown. You've been with him all the way throughout. Does he go back-to-back and join the likes of Best Mate, Album, Photo, et al., Cato Star, of course, as a dual Gold Cup winner?
I think he does. He's proven doing it last year. Goes on any ground. Best trainer, jockey. They've just got to repeat what they did last year, in my opinion. Nothing's come through this year that you've gone, wow, that's really going to test Galloping Deschamps. And what he did at Leopardstown, both the last 2 times, in my opinion, if he repeats that, I think he wins. He is obviously short. But if you're asking me who I think wins, Galloping Deschamps.
Okay. I know Joel has been of a different opinion throughout. What's yours?
And I think the price goes for Fast or Slow. Beaten Galloping Deschamps twice. And last time out, obviously, turned the tables around, but was probably 85% fit. You're looking at even money. It'll be odds on the day versus 5 to 1. So Fast or Slow all day long.
Okay. Favourite. Second favourite. Good, you've got someone who likes one at a price. Yeah. I like one at a price. Get my thoughts last. Aidan?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Galloping Deschamps is the most likely winner. But I'd be slightly worried about having 2 3-mile chases this year already. Before Cheltenham, he'd been better off not to run the last time, I think. But still, he's the most likely winner. Fast or Slow ran a lot better the last time than I thought he would. And I don't think... He wasn't really, there wasn't as much in it as it looked like at the end. So he definitely has a chance. I kind of like the real whacker from early on. I don't know, after that last, that run, they probably didn't realise they could go as quicker than what they did, because he started coming back again after leading already. And I always like a horse that will lead, maybe get past, but fight back at the end, which might augur well for coming up the hill in the Gold Cup over that trip.
You liked it for the King George, didn't you?
I loved it. I loved it for the King George, and I just get it wrong every single time. I keep falling in love with horses, and I shouldn't be. I should be falling in love with a nice man.
I didn't mind his running the King George. So.
Do you know?
When I watched it back, it wasn't as bad as I.
He just always looked at it at all times.
Yeah,
what price is the real whacker now? Around about?
1.
Yeah, see, we talk about King George. I'd have Brave Man's Game at 20s or whatever he is. He's been disappointing, but I don't think they wanted to run him at Haydock. I think that was an owner's choice. He ran well in the King George until being knocked by Shishkin over the last, and even on reappearance at Wetherby, wasn't a bad effort behind a decent horse as well. If I had to find a price, he's my each way play.
But no one's mentioned Shishkin so far, and he's short, third favourite, I believe now, and it, you know.
Everything's great. Everything's great in Nicky Anderson's yard.
Oh, yeah, it's all going great. I mean, we sat down earlier on just to have our little prep in the pub before, and if you fell asleep during the Gold Cup and woke up, is there any horse in that race that would surprise you if you woke up, you put on the racing post or whatever, and went, "Oh, Hewitt won," or Brave Man's Game won?
Jerry Plum.
Yeah.
Be surprised if he won.
Yeah, but I agree. I think it's too slow first.
Been disappointing this season, very disappointing.
I've not changed my attack. I still like Corrick Ramble. He loves Cheltenham. It's his time of year. He was one of the easiest Grand Nationals I've seen for many years.
Never win a Grand National.
Exactly. Go on, say he'll never win a Gold Cup.
Yeah, no. Who would you be surprised at? Because that will be the winner.
Hewitt.
On this ground, yeah.
Yeah,
No, I just think he'd be running on past beaten horses. That's all. He might not get to Galloping Deschamps, but he'd be picking up the pieces. 20-1, 4-1.
So fast or slow wins, Galloping Deschamps second, Real Whacker third.
Yeah, I'd take that.
Yeah, I'll take that too.
God, say Corrick Rambler, can't we?
Yeah, Corrick Wabbler, he's fourth.
Jonathan Wass, is it?
Yeah, here's it indeed.
Go on, say it.
Corrick Rambler fourth.
Cannot win a Gold Cup. Get in.
Cannot win a
We're
Gold
all
Cup.
aboard. Right. Obviously, the big talking point over the recent days has been Constitution Hill. Will he or won't he? He won't, Frankie. You all right? Are you all right?
Disaster. What do we do? Yes, it's a shame, isn't it? Real shame. And we all take the mick out of me. I didn't actually have a penny on Antepost, so it's not like I've got any bets that have gone down the drain. I've just been his biggest fan, but I haven't lost anything in terms of betting.
I'm just a fan, Alan.
I love you.
Yeah, I've been following it all, and everyone's had their own opinion. And I guess what mattered was the blood tests, and they would have had a marker that they had to be below. It wasn't below, so he's not going to run. And it's a shame because State Man will go and win. He's not a betting proposition, and once he's won, we'll all still say, but can he beat Constitution Hill? So that question doesn't get answered, and we don't have a bet on State Man either. I hope, I know this is a Cheltenham preview, but I hope they face each other in Ireland, because that would level the playing field.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, but he shouldn't he?
It would be great, because all excuses are gone then. You know, Constitution Hill has travelled. He's ran a race that wasn't maybe part of his programme this season. They face each other. It's State Man's home turf. That'd be a brilliant clash. But yeah, as far as the champion hurdle goes at Cheltenham, it's a bit disappointing, and you're basically trying to find what place is at an all right price.
Okay. Well, I'll come to John in a minute, because you teased it up with what place at a price. So that means aiding him, because I know you like bigger prices. Now, when we're doing our prep in the office, you were telling me that State Man is closer to Constitution Hill than the rest are to State Man.
Yeah.
So it's his to lose again.
Statement is just more consistent. He's going to run to that, whatever it is, 175 or whatever it is, kind of no matter what happens, I'd imagine. Whereas Constitution Hill was poor in entry last year. Like I wasn't that, like, who was second? Sharjah, who I love Sharjah and stuff, but whereas Statement, every time he's ran last year too, he looks very strong every time. The champion hurdle maybe last year, but he's still miles clear of the rest. Do you know?
He's going to win. We're all in agreement.
Yeah.
And whereas I would have had some hope that Constitution Hill might lose maybe over that entry run, and he hadn't had a great prep and all that kind of thing. But I'd be negative enough on Irish Pint. I don't get the big
I don't get
furore.
I don't
get
get Irish Pint at all.
I think there's a couple of obvious ones in it. The problem is, will they run? I mean,
We're not going to know bet, so
yeah.
throw the dart.
Well, Zanahiyr is of those things over the years in the champion hurdle. The same horses, because it's a different type of race than any other 2 mile hurdle. It's fast. The same horses year after year. Zanahiyr has been placed in the last 2 of these already, and the field that I see there, so say Not So Sleepy is 14-1, right? Zanahiyr is 25-1. Now, we'll forget about the fact that he might run the Turners. Forget about that for the moment.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
But
nothing's running the Turners now. We're all going champion hurdle. Frankie's got a supplement.
It's none or no bet, so it actually doesn't matter, right? And with Constitution Hill gone, you'd have to look at it from Gordon Elliott's point of view, surely.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been placed the last twice in probably maybe
Pipe
better.
Progo?
So he's 25-1. I would prefer.
He's been bought, hasn't he?
Who's that?
Piper.
Oh, Piper has, yeah. So one of those two will surely, and I would favour them over Not So Sleepy, Irish Pint, anything else.
They're much of a muchness, as you say, Edmund. They really are behind. I think when there was just the two in there, you were playing for one place maximum Antepost, weren't you? And I put it up. I'm not proud of doing that, because I want to see the best horses turn up on the day. But I had the quite large each way double account closer on John Bond, State Man. So we're just waiting for El Fabiolo now to. I've heard him coughing.
Still won't find
I agree that there's a few higher up in the market, like Lucia. I don't know why she's so short, and she's pretty ground dependent. Like
She will go.
That's I suppose that's why she's short. Is because they've said she's definitely going. But I mean, she wants better ground. She's only won a handicap this year. I don't think she deserves to be the price she is. And then Not So Sleepy, I suppose, is consistent in that he's ran in it the last couple of years and been, I think, fifth the last couple of years. But was his performance that good? And again, maybe ground dependent. Does he want it really soft to be seen at his best? So there's these question marks about a couple of those. Zanahiyr's a fair shout. I thought Zarek the Brave is potentially overpriced, and probably I'd have him above Lucia and Not So Sleepy, whereas he's a bigger price than the pair of them.
A week ago, we were looking at a 6-horse race. Now people are throwing their hat into the ring because there's no Constitution Hill to beat. Instead of playing for third place prize money, second place prize money is up for grabs.
Yeah. Maximum field 34. So
What have you got?
There's one serious question is, say, if you're the double green, I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah,
but Imperial Pass it would basically, if he's fitting well, he didn't run that great the last time, but I don't think it would matter. With what's left in that field, he's just going to be second.
Yeah.
There's just no doubt in the world about it. It's 22,000 to supplement tomorrow, which is useful because they know Constitution Hill isn't running.
Yeah.
It's actually interesting to me to see will they supplement him, only purely because, I'm always from a value point of view. That's like amazing value. I don't know what price second is. It's 70 something like that, and it's a put it down to pick it back up again.
I'd agree. He'd be
can't
second.
see anything.
I'd
even
agree.
close. Even if he's not at his best, I can't see anything even close to him. Same with Bob Ollinger.
And that's why the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, because the investment like that, it's 3 or 4 times on your money, isn't it, straight away?
But they don't need to, because Out of the Brave will go for them. So
Yeah, it might be telling us something though.
yes, fair
Do you
point.
know what I mean? Might be
I would. You know what? I'm stepping out of this. I think State Man wins. If you well, give me a free bet, 50 quid each way, I go Lucia because
It's definitely going to run.
Can't have that at all.
it's definitely going to run, and Nico needs a ride.
Yeah.
Is Out of the Brave each way?
No, you don't.
Man's on here.
Is that a hair each
so,
way?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, well, State Man wins. I think I'll look for something on the day. I think there's nothing.
Well, just State Man by 10.
The thing is, there's going to be so many people throwing their hat into the ring all of a sudden, isn't there? So that's how I would see it. Right, Champion Chase, another banker this time for Willie Mullins, though. I'll start with you, Joel, because you already kind of teed it up. John Bon for you.
Well, no, I mean it's ridiculous. I was going for the dirty account closing each way double, in that not hope because that's horrible to say because you want to see the best horses run, that something would go miss or go somewhere else or whatever. It's El Fabiola all day long, isn't it? I mean, look.
Well, Nico said, hasn't he? He doesn't jump that well, and he's quite looking forward to getting on John Bon. I mean, obviously he was lucky enough that he'd have to sit on him last time when he ploughed through everything under James Bowen.
Yeah. And what's third favourite?
Edwardstone.
Edwardstone. Now, Edwardstone has just got to go off at 100 miles an hour. Like, there's
Yeah, but so is Edison.
But it's a G.
So is
Alexia de Nuts. So is whatever else is in there. It's the only way. It's the only way of having a go and trying to get a breather into him. It won't be as easy as last time. And I think you've also got to, Tom Cannon's got to have a little bit of the old acting ability about him and pretend he's sitting out the back. And then when everyone's looking round, he's just going to fly and nick 4 lengths and go. Everyone's like, what's going on here? Sorry, Ian.
But if, like we say, there's that massive pace burn up,
Yeah.
we'll put pressure on his jumping, which, he is prone to the odd mistake.
They both are, to be fair, at the top.
Edwardstone's the
top
best jumper.
He is. I just think he was flattered last time, beating Fernando Civila, Boot Hill.
Real fell, didn't he?
They're handicappers, you know what I mean? They're not Champion Chase horses. Any of these horses in the Champion Chase market, or most of them, would beat them with ease. So, I love Edwardstone, and I backed him that day, but I think he was massively flattered in regards to his Champion Chase chances. And you'd need John Bon or Al Fabiola to make a mistake in this, really, for any other horse to be coming first or second. I've always been of the opinion that Al Fabiola beat John Bon easily last year, and we have this whole media hype of, it's a big clash at the top two. I think Al Fabiola wins. If I was trying to find something to place third, Captain Guinness, placed in an
Been a lot of money, haven't there, last couple of
second
days?
last year, so he's got good Cheltenham form. To finish second, I know Energumene won by a long way, but still ran a good race into second last year. I'd have him above Edwardstone, so kind of the same sort of, I guess, same sort of bet as we were talking in the Champion Hurdle. You're looking for second or third. What's down the market that has a couple in between him and John Bon and Al Fabiola that I think is better than Captain Guinness, for me, could come third.
Maiden.
Well, I'm going to agree with Frankie. You told me I wouldn't be agreeing with Frankie. But if there's a pace burn up, Captain Guinness will be... Once he's had a few he hasn't been 100% a couple of times. If he's well, you've seen the way he travelled last year. He's going to travel well down to the end, and some of them will be out the back and gone. So he seems like he's valued to be third for me. The problem with it is when you have two very strong horses each way apart, it doesn't really...
Yeah.
It's not as good, but one that could cause a surprise, it's not dissimilar to, say, Edwardstone, is if it's decent ground. Gentleman to me, a couple of times in the past, has gone mad off in front And if he gets out in front and enjoys himself, he's capable of, if you're just looking at the price, the massive price is 40 to 1. He is capable of, if he puts everything together and jumps well, he's capable of getting involved in this. And it's a big enough price where, you know, you can write it. I mean, it's 40 to 1, it's fine. But he's already had a couple of performances which would get him, you know, probably ahead of Edward Stone, or kind of a similar to Edward Stone last performance that has Edward Stone at 7 to 1. Gentleman Demi's done that once or twice. Dublin Race Festival, I think it was last year, the year before.
Aintree was well back to 1 up.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
he's a fast heart. But he's the type that, you know, you really don't know what's going to be there on the day, but you're getting the price to find out.
You certainly are, yeah. It doesn't cost much, does it pay? At 40 to 1, I'm going to lose this. I look like an idiot. Right, let's look at a
serious talk now.
Serious, put it back up.
Right, let's look at a wide open championship race, something we can all kind of get stuck into. At around about 3 to 1 the field, it is the Stayers. I tee it up as a wide open one, but Frank will go for the favourite.
Yes, I will. I have been for a long time. Hey, look, I've given you a couple of each way plays in the ones with the shorties so far, so I haven't turned around and said Constitution. Sorry, not Constitution Hill.
Are you okay? Are you okay? You're thinking about him, aren't you?
State Man, Alpha Biolo, Tiahupu, treble. But no, I do think Tiahupu will win. I mean, he's a dual Grade 1 winner in the Hatton's Graces this year, beating Imperial Pass, who we just spoke about, very, very good horse. He was third last year, and I suppose we'll call it unfortunate that Davey had to switch him when it mattered, really, because if you watch Tiahupu in a finish, like when he's in a driving finish, and if he can just be straightened out and have a crack, he's so tough. And where he was switched, he wasn't really allowed to do that. He kind of got after it and then got switched, and then his race was finished at a crucial point. And that was last year. He was only a 6-year-old last year, so he's developed again. He's won another Grade 1 since. They've freshened him up. There's just so many ticks in his boxes for me. Grade 1 winner that's done it over course and distance nearly, and is still improving with nothing else in the field that's standing out to me. So I think he's the right favourite.
Outside of Berlin, Dashel Drasher, would he have won last year? I mean, I love Davy Russell. He's one of my favourite jocks of all time. But I think last year he should have stayed in bed. I gone to Tenerife.
Yeah, he's having a bad day. Wasn't he?
Yeah. It wasn't great.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, there is obviously an angle there. You speak about Dashel Drasher. He comes into his best this time of year. He hasn't massively underperformed this year. Tiahupu is 3 to 1, and Dashel Drasher's about 33 to 1. So there's a big difference in the prices, and Dashel Drasher could still be in the mixer. I just really think Tiahupu wins this.
Tiahupu then for Frankie. Go on.
I just get scared when I start mentioning horses that you just laugh at me. I mentioned Mellon for the last 17 years. Every single preview we're doing.
That wasn't the only one then.
Yeah. I love Mellon.
Home by the Lee, is it, Joe?
Yeah, no, it's not Home by the Lee. It's Monkfish. You know, three runs in 1,000 days. What's the face for? There's a reason they're keeping this horse going. And on late January at Guerriero Park, that 5.5 length victory over.
To be fair, he showed a good turn of foot.
He did.
Didn't they?
He did. I mean, there's a bounce factor and whatever. Devil's Coachman didn't run the race. There was Somerville Boy and Ashdale Bob in there, 4 in a race. It really well backed as well. So I presumed they would just get the juice out the horse, meaning that, you know, taking the money out the horse, and that.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well corrected.
Yeah. That was it. But look, if Galloping the Shop didn't go for the Gold Cup, they'd stick Monkfish in there. But I think Monkfish. What you say? That's an adequate replacement. You know what I mean? No, Monkfish at around 14, 16 to 1, something like that.
All right, before we come to Aidan then and talk about outsiders, what about the old boy Paisley Park, of course, running his 300th Stayers hurdle? He has won it before, and we went down to see him again at Emma Lavelle's yard to just see how bright the fire still burns in the old boy.
It's magical to see him running his races, and yet after Newbury, the long distance hurdle there, and just getting beaten by Dashel Drasher, I was like, look, it's frustrating, but he's run a magnificent race against a lovely old warrior as well, and you think, okay, that's fine, and Dashel Drasher had the benefit of a race and we hadn't, and I thought, well, maybe we'll just improve a bit. And we did, we went to Ascot and he ran better again, but, kind of Crambo came and just did him by a short head. And so you're sort of thinking, oh, really? And then you go to Cheltenham and for the trials meeting, and I just thought, do you know what? This just isn't really happening for us today, so be it. And then the next minute he goes, no, hang on, and off he goes, and then just fails to catch Noble Yates. And you're like, really, Paisley? 2 heads and a short head, come on. And he walked in at Cheltenham, and the cheers that he had, it was very moving for all of us. But he then stands there with his ears pricked, and he said, well, clearly they're cheering because I've won, because no one's going to get that much for finishing second, so he thinks he's won anyway. I have no expectation for Paisley, because he puts me through the ringer continually as to what he's going to do, and no one knows but Paisley. There have been so many years that I've gone to Cheltenham sort of feeling we're going to win, or not we're going to win, but that sort of feeling of expecting a great run, and then it's a great run but not quite good enough. I just feel at the stage that he's at, the age that he's at, what he's done already this season, he has been such an amazing horse that whatever he does, I'm so proud of him, and to still be competing at the level that we are, I kind of feel I'm just going to roll with the punches.
Yeah, brilliant Emma Lavelle there, and hopefully he does run well and he takes retirement made back in. I mean, I know you like your outsiders. Is Paisley Park part of your thoughts? I mean,
yeah, I love Paisley Park, and I did. I've picked him a few times in this, but not the time that I was on Sam Spinner that time. That Sam Spinner was a massive price, but I think it's possible that a lot of these are about the same standard, including like Tahipu does look like the most likely winner because all the other horses behind him last year are getting older. But because I think most of those are around the same, I'm going for the biggest price of those, which is Champ. He's run twice this year without... They've been reasonable runs. Previously, I don't think he didn't run in this last year. Previously, he's had a hard race against Paisley Park early on in the season, which maybe he only has one good race a season. But just at the price, compared with some of the other ones, I don't mind Champ. He's 50 to 1. He has the capability. You'd kind of wonder why... He's still in training. He was off a long time. He's a 12-year-old. They won it last year. It would have been way more surprising to them that Sire de Burley won than Champ would be winning at the same age. And he's back for a reason, I'd say. It's one of the kind of things I'd be thinking about in these long shots. But 50 to 1 seems a good price for me. And on the day, particularly on the day, depending on how many run, there might be 4 places in this thing.
Yeah,
there's 4 places in this. All those horses, Dashel, Drasher, Home by the Lee, probably Champ.
Yes,
They're
yeah.
all
Tell
gonna
me
be-
about Home by the Lee. Are the Irish liking it? I've always liked it, and the English people just tell me I'm stupid
If
because
the ground is
especially on
good,
that last run.
The ground is good. He just nothing has went right for him. I don't think so far. That race might be interesting. Home by the Lee for the win at whatever he is, 16 to 1, and each way Champ. Because if they're all in the bundle, which seems possible,
The Drasher.
you may as well. And so much has to go right then at the end. You might as well be on the one that's 50 to 1, around the same as the ones that are 16 or 20 to 1.
Yeah, good shout.
Plus,
And the one that's 10 to 3.
And shortening.
There you go then. That's the state is wide open. It was that wide open field to it as well, as we all hear. Right, another one, the Ryanair, quite wide open. Alaho sadly ruled out. I know, Frankie, you're a big fan of them. Again,
It's not going well for you, is it, mate?
it's not really, is it, mate?
No, told you, Antepost, the long shots.
But what about the ground? The ground's will be so key. The water table's so high.
Yeah.
It won't take much to make it soft ground, which would probably make it a tough ask for Banbridge. And then you got Envoy Allen, who we kind of forget is a 3-time festival winner.
I know, bizarre why Envoy Allen he kind of gets forgotten until we get really close to the day, and then when the market takes its shape, everyone goes, oh yeah, he won last year and he's won the festival and he's a top class horse and he's still here. And I guess that is just because the way he's campaigned and often the way that Henry de Bromhead campaigns a lot of his top horses, he's great at getting them right for the big festivals, isn't he? And they don't have to do loads on the run up. So I suppose that's why further out you get a bit of a better price about Envoy Allen, because he doesn't have to do loads because his time is the festival. So yeah, he's banging the mix. Banbridge for me is very ground dependent.
He'll go Aintree, eh?
If it's soft, whether he runs or not,
Heavy.
but I just wouldn't back him. And then Conflated, I quite like, who has unseated the last twice, but at the last fence in the mixer with Galloping de Champs, Fast or Slow, Jerry Colomb. I know I've just said he won't win a Gold Cup, but still top class horses. The Ryanair is typically a bit of a step down. And although Conflated is getting older, he does have a bit of a turn of foot about him. Like, he does have a bit of speed that could be right for the Ryanair. which he wasn't really allowed to show when he fell when Allaho won. But that was when Allaho was at his best, and he was going to finish second. So I quite like the fact that Conflated's in here. I would have probably liked to have seen it last year, but they're going to have a crack this year, and it's not the strongest race to go and win for a proper Grade 1 horse.
It isn't the strongest. I think that is key. I mean, Banbridge is a worthy favourite. He's ground dependent. He probably is a race to have a look at those at prices.
Yeah, I don't think it'll go. I think it will. I mean, Cheltenham's pretty much underwater, isn't it?
Mystic Joel.
Yeah, Mystic Joel.
He knows what won't run anyway.
It's going Aintree. It's going Mellinger Aintree. There's no doubt about it. There's a bit. It's a bit damp. It's a bit damp. Ain't going. Massively ground dependent. What price is Stage Star?
4, 5
4 or
maybe.
5,
Yeah.
1.
So I really like Conflated. I thought he unseated last time. Just thought he was a bit tired.
But over 3, yeah.
Yeah. So I like Conflated. I like Stage Star as well, looking at that November handicap form with Iroko and Fugitive in there as well. I was there on New Year's Day at Cheltenham, my Christmas present. And again, we called that, not mystically, but we did say he'll either bolt up or he'll be pulled up. He's carrying 12 stone that day and was pulled up. I really like Stage Star, and it's one for the Brits. You won't hear us say that many times. One for the Brits.
Cobden's best chance of the festival, I think he said the other day.
Was it Ginger's Destiny?
No, Nichols said Ginny's Destiny.
Okay.
Well, he might not even ride. Did you not see that?
Cobden said Stage Start, so Stay Away Faye we'll go with.
Yeah, he might not be riding any of those because he might be going for Huntington to get the sixth timer. The sixth timer to get the.
Yeah, no, I think Cobden said Stay Star would be his best chance.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like one at a price, but I'll let you take the 4 first.
Yeah, funnily enough, this kind of race is not ideal for like a big price each way, because I think you've got half a dozen consistent, strong performers in the first 6. It's going to be actually difficult to get something like Banbridge if he goes, Envial and Stage Star, Capadano, Conflated, Phil Dore even. They're all pretty consistent. I think it's going to be difficult. I mean, I'm dying to look down the field here. And Hitman seems like value, but I just... Wait a minute.
Hang on, where's the big S that we need to hold up
Wait
now?
till I finish. Yeah. Like, he seems like it, and I was kind of tempted, but he'd need to be much bigger.
He ran well last time out, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he
he did
needs to be
actually,
much bigger than 20 to 1, because I think...
200 to 1.
Yeah, well, no. But if he gets to something like 40 or something silly.
Yeah.
But these races where Conflate is going to run to a certain standard no matter what.
Yeah.
If the ground is good, Banbridge do the same, Environment do the same. Stage
Capadano's
Star is very
quite
consistent. He is, yeah.
Because he hasn't raced under 3 miles in a long time, has he?
No.
I don't think.
And he looked, if you remember,
he was the only
didn't he beat the
entry he
Real
had.
Whacker the last time?
It was the only entry he had, wasn't it?
The Real Whacker was kind of catching him at the end. It's probably ideal for him, but that means there's half a dozen horses that are going to run to whatever, 160 or something like that, which is going to make it hard to get something at a price into the... There might be 4 places in this, but it might make it a bit hard. I mean, we'll see what Hitman gets to, but I think the win part of Hitman, I'm not sure.
I don't like to offend, because anytime I have a pop at somebody's horse or a jockey or something like that, within seconds I meet them like that. If I had a go at Hitman now, I'd be walking past outside on the way back to the pub. You called me, man. No, I didn't.
I quite like Fugitive.
Oh, yeah, I remember,
before,
yeah.
haven't I? Yeah.
Mentioned second mention of Fugitive today.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
What? Yeah, I was talking about Stage Star form with Iroko and Fugitive.
Yeah, so well, that's just, it's just a course of distance specialist, isn't it?
Yeah.
Staying on, I thought it was just an eye-catching. Well, we knew what he was going to do in the Clarence House. It was an interesting ploy from Mitchell Hobson, he knows the time of day. And he just stayed on. He's only beaten 6 lengths behind Elixir de Nuts, and that wasn't his trip. He was taken off his feet just to stand out at course. And he's probably still improving. I just thought, again, sneaking a play. I know you're saying there's so many above him that are so consistent, but it might just cup a little bit, this one. It really might. That's my theory. And anyway, right. Novice hurdle. Novice hurdles. Willie, Mullins, bingo. We just don't know what's going to go where, do we?
Willie, won't he?
I'm going to start with Joel this time.
Give me questions, I'll give you answers.
What wins the Supreme? No, anything. Do you know what?
Right, okay. Are we going to get into this thing, right? Hands up if you think Ballyburn is going to the Supreme. Hands up. No one, none of you.
No.
No, none of us. Brilliant. So therefore, Tully Hill wins it, yeah?
No way.
That's the thing. We're all surmising, aren't we? It's what's going to go where.
Well, the thing is, I watched the preview last night in bed, and Danny Mullins said that he's 60% sure that 60%. I mean, come on, that Ballyburn would go to the 2.5 mile.
Your bed?
Yeah, that's it. 2.5 mile. He was in my bed, and then Patrick was another one going, "Oh no, he'd go for the Supreme." Sorry again.
Okay,
but
well, I've been talking about Firefox. Ballyburn, everyone's talking about as a world beater. That whatever race he runs in, he'll
win, which he will.
Firefox beat Atlantique in a bumper, who's
wasn't
one
fit.
of the other favourites for the Bingham. Beat Ballyburn over 2 miles. I know that maybe race tactics and stuff they might change, but he still did beat him fair and square, or well enough. And it wasn't as if everybody could say, "Oh, Ballyburn needs 2.5," because he went and won really impressively over 2 at the DRF. So I think Firefox got to be in with a great shout. And then one at a bit of a price, who price seems to just be getting bigger and bigger. So maybe there's a reason for it. But Asian Master looked pretty good when beating Better Days Ahead by 10 last time. And I wonder is maybe overpriced because Tom Costello rides because his parents own it. So it hasn't had the whole, town end on another of Mullins Hot Pot in a novice hurdle winning, a bit of a lower jockey booking that hasn't caught the eye of as many people and looks pretty good and is about 33 to 1. So that'd be my Mullins selection anyway.
To be fair, Dougie Costello could have won it last time. Hi, Dougie.
That's what I say, yeah. Again, we're smart. We're trying to lump in the Supreme Bear and Mig and the Albert Bartlett all in one in.
Yeah.
We're trying to surmise what's going to go where, but surely the Albert Bartlett's one that you must like because there's always something at massive prices flying in there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think I got one a few years ago at a big price. In the Supreme, the ground is good. I really like Absurd. He's one of my eye catchers from the DRF. It's just he needs good ground. He needs a strong pace, and he's a massive price. It's hard to know where they're going to go. The thing about Firefox beating Ballyburn is a lot of Willie Mullins' good horses this year have lost their first run, which is something they never used to do. It seems like he likes to do what Aidan O'Brien does on the flat, not want these
Need
horses.
the run.
No, not want these horses, give them 2 runs in a maiden instead of 1. A good few look through it. A good few of them have lost their first race this year. Good few of the
They were
high
only
profile
the run, weren't
ones.
they? The good ones.
So it makes sense to try and get these horses 2 runs in a maiden rather than 1. So I'm hoping Ballyburn goes to the Supreme. He looks the fastest horse, but I think they think he'd just win either of them, so it doesn't really matter. And I'd say they're not worried. Mystical Power, I don't know, does he come into it really? I'd say it's more like Il Atlantique and
Jump
it's
well
hard
enough.
to tell.
Yeah, that's what I said on the show the other week, isn't it? If I was trying to rank them just in terms of what horses he had for each race, I'd fancy Il Atlantique to win the Bingham more than I would Tully Hill to win the Supreme, in which case you'd send Ballyburn to the Supreme because you've got Il Atlantique in the Bingham and you've got Reading Tommy Wrong and
Dancing City.
High Class Hero, all sorts in the Albert Bartlett. So if you're trying to spread your top novices, I think he's most thin in the Supreme. So you would, on that basis, send Ballyburn. But none of us put our hand up for him going to the Supreme.
No. Well, shouldn't be allowed to happen anyway. Shouldn't be allowed to have all his horses. He should have to provide 3 months' bank statements, photo ID, and show where proven funds come from.
Right, what else? Albert Bartlett, I think it's a really good race. I know we've already I put up Shanna Barber, put up Johnny Who as well at prices. It's something that you always throw something out. it's about 6 is the field at the minute.
Yeah. Largy Hill, I thought was overpriced, or Largy Hill, who beat Staffordshire Knot, who wasn't that far behind.
Is that the
Reading
Chris Jones horse?
Tommy Wrong. No, I think it's another double green.
Or is it?
Yeah. Another Willie Mullins double green. Beat Staffordshire Knot, who was, I think, very expensive purchase, well thought of, wasn't miles off Reading Tommy Wrong, who's a much shorter price for this, and has won over 3 miles already, which plenty at the top of the market haven't. I just thought he was overpriced, like Hill, but I agree. Shanna Bob looked novice-y, didn't he? And still managed to win at Cheltenham. And looks like if he got into a bit of a fight, would probably stay. I think they're my 2.
We've been talking Novice Hurdles for 4 minutes. That's the first English horse that we've mentioned. Shanna Bob.
I have one. Johnny Who, we mentioned it.
Yeah.
JP and John Joe, that former Captain Teague looks half decent. And the Shallow, beating 2 lengths in 4th. And then 6 lines behind, Gigley Park, wasn't it?
Gigley Park.
Last time out at Cheltenham. I look through all of these and I'm trying to find something that is British. And I think that Ben Pauling will probably have a half decent festival. He's got a lot of big priced ones, not as good as the Irish, but we'll get placed. So I'm going to do some Ben Pauling multiples, I think.
Handstands?
Yeah, I've got handstands, ready to go.
Go on then, give us one. Give us one for the Novice Hurdles.
I've not heard that chat up live for a while.
Go on, Joel.
Johnny Who for Albert Bartlett.
Frankie?
You've gone Bartlett. What do you want, the Supreme or the Bingham?
I'll go Aidan first then.
Well, I haven't mentioned the Alfred Bartlett, so I kind of like Stellar Story in that at a big
Oh,
price.
another.
His mate.
Oh,
His mate.
oh, again.
Just a good ground, 3 miles.
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
more
Oh,
soon, I think.
don't. That'll break my heart. I think the last time that happened was Punjabi. I backed it every time until it won at Cheltenham. I was standing there going, I saw it win on debut, and I've never backed it since.
I think though the most likely winner might be Gidley Park though. I don't really like those three Willie Mullins horses at the top of the Alfred Bartlett market. High Class Hero at Summer Ground, Summer Farm means kind of nothing. I think Reed and Tommy Wrong beat Il Atlantique, but came from miles back. I just suited him that time. I think so. Gidley Park I think he's maybe kind of a favourite. Yeah, could get back to it. That got a really good chance. I just like Stellar Story.
Used to love that.
You know,
one.
I think it will suit him. You know, he's a stayer.
Oh, Joe, you're
big fat.
changing my mind again. You've done it to me. It's related to the storyteller. One of my favourite horses. Just
Go on, let's give us one for the novices.
Il Atlantique for the Brigham.
Novice chasers.
Hunter's Yarn is one that doesn't fall into the mix of Ilete Tom, Founder 50, because they all kind of sorted their rankings out of the DRF, whereas he didn't. He was always talked about as a novice hurdler as going to be a really, really good horse. It didn't transpire, and he went to the county, didn't he? And didn't really run a race, which I suppose is a negative that he hasn't got good Cheltenham form. But he's looked really good in his 2 starts over fences. I know he fell at the last on his first start, but if he didn't fall, he was beating Saf through air by 10 lengths. He wasn't far behind Calixiox next time. And I would guess Danny Mullins might keep the ride on Ilete Tomps, and Paul Townend would ride Hunter's Yarn. And he's a better price than a few that have question marks, and we
Darren
haven't
Jacob
seen
come
him.
into the mix.
He might, yeah. He's again, it's another double. But they're going to have a great festival if I've got any winners.
yeah. They're cleaning up at this point.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, he might. Yeah, he might. I'm not sure. I think Paul Tannen's rode him the last 2 times, and I would guess, especially because Danny Mullins gave Ilete Tom such a good ride and got on well with him at the DRF, and there's not much between them. I reckon they just stay as it is. So I think Townend on board Hunter's Yarn.
That's Henry's friend. For Pauling and Ben Jones, who have really come up with a brilliant partnership here. 4 runs this season after a win. Our first run, which is obvious, quiet midfield run, and then has won Newbury, Hereford, and in mid-Feb beat Apple away in Kilbeg Kid
In the Reynolds,
by a head.
And
he's British.
racing has a habit of things working out like this. The National Hunt Chase this morning was announced to be ran in memory
Mullins,
of Maureen Mullins. Patrick Mullins will ride MC Gardens. That'd be a great story, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would, yeah.
And has every chance.
Yeah, fair play.
So I like JPR won for the Arkle. I still think he would have won obviously when he fell and
He really fell, didn't he?
he was pitched, didn't he?
Pit, yeah.
So, yeah, I still think he's got time. And I do like Hunter's Yarn as well. Just needs to push up on his
And
jump.
Willie's really, when Willie really likes one, and because he's got 200 horses in his head and whatever. And every time you pick up on stuff, and if you're a body language expert, you'd see it. Not that I am, but anytime we get Hunter's Yarn, he's the eyes light up a little bit, a bit like with with Facile Vega. I mean, that's a waste of time. But Hunter's Yarn.
Question:
Question?
Grey Dawning, Turners or?
Well, Dan Skelton suggesting he's going 2.5 miler.
I think he should, because I think it's an easier race to win, and he would have had the beating of Ginny's Destiny if it wasn't for that second last fence. Whereas he's got Factor File, who Willie Mullins thinks is a Gold Cup horse, and he's got Stay Away Faye, who was third in the Cotswold Chase behind really good horses. So that's quite a hard race to win. Whereas you look at the Turners, and anyone with eyes, I think, could see that Grey Dawning would have won over 2.5, beating Ginny's Destiny.
Interesting you mention the Turners then, because Oliver Greenall's got Iroko. We thought was going to be out injured for the entire season, missed Cheltenham, but he's got him back just in time. He's only had the 1 start, which is a concern, but his impressive win at Warwick, form that has been franked, and I went to the yard of Oliver Greenall and Josh Guerriero to see how Iroko was getting on.
Standing next to Iroko, who gave you a huge thrill last year, how much did it mean to you to saddle your first Cheltenham Festival winner with a horse that's clearly got a serious amount of ability?
Yeah, it was there wasn't a huge amount of pressure because it's obviously a very competitive race. We always felt that there's probably going to be another one in the race that was better handicap than us. So we just enjoyed the day. I think it's the last race of the day. Obviously there's a massive buzz at Cheltenham, especially in the Friday. It's absolutely packed. And it was just a joy to watch, really. He sort of came off the bridle at the top of the hill, and we were a bit, hopefully maybe gets placed. And then he just motored up the hill. I fell to my knees, Josh ran off, and it meant a huge bit training. I think as a jockey, you jump on, you do your job, you jump off. It was good, but I was young, thought it would probably happen again, which it didn't. So actually to train a horse, to find a horse, to get an owner to buy a horse, to see it through all its different stages and actually get a horse there, a lot more goes into it, and it meant a lot more.
And this year with Iroko, yes, you have a great start to the season, and then you think the season's over. I mean, did you really believe you could get him back, that actually he can go back to Cheltenham this year?
No, it didn't really. I mean, he jumped so well at Warwick. We were so excited, to see him just so electric over those fences down the back at Warwick. It gave us a huge thrill. We were excited for the season, and then he was fine the next day. Turned him out in the field, and he comes in and he's lame. So couldn't believe it. And then we were hopeful that, we would get him back, and the vets, were pretty sort of negative about it all, really. And then he just seemed to make a really good recovery, and the hoof healed, and we're here back, and he hasn't put on too much weight, and he's come back to fitness really well. So it's fantastic. The fitness is not a worry. It's more just the lack of experience really that would worry me going to Cheltenham. I'm happy he's in the 2.5 mile. We'll just go a cog slower, and should just give him that chance just to get in a nice rhythm round there. He's always jumped very well, but having only had one run, that would be a concern really against horses with a lot more experience. He actually can cope with all sorts. He's run on soft and quicker ground, so I wouldn't be that concerned. But something good to soft ground would be perfect. I think he's an improving horse. He loves jumping. He's got a great attitude, handles the track. He's used to the hurly-burly of those big handicaps, which I think stands him in great stead. I think he's got a fantastic chance.
Is he the best horse you trained?
Definitely. Yeah, he's the best horse we've ever had here.
Yeah, but hopefully Iroko does get that. I think he's got a huge chance as well. Aidan, Novice Chase thoughts?
Obviously, I mentioned Zana here earlier on, but just in that National Hunt Chase, I'd quite like to see Apple Away running that and get the £7 on ratings. There's not a huge amount.
Joel
She's a big price.
Yeah,
and
she's not in the mares, is she?
No.
There's not a lot, there's not, well, I think the mares would be too short for it.
Yeah,
Probably wants the trip.
Gets a £7.
Gets a £7 on ratings. There's not a lot in it. And didn't she beat Broadway by a couple of times? And Broadway by 7-1. Apples Away is 25-1. She's the kind of interesting one in it. It could cut up. She's in the Ultima, but I think if you ran the Ultima off level weights, even the Ultima is a tougher race than this. I'm not sure how good this race is. You're dependent on whether Embassy Gardens is like nearly a Gold Cup horse or whatever. I'm not sure about the rest of them. I'd be very interested in her at a nice price. Getting £7. Rating says she's well within a chance. So let's hope she runs in it.
Okay, I want one each of you for any of the Novice Chases.
Ask him first.
Aidan.
I mean, I'm interested in Zana here mainly. Whichever of those, he's underestimated as he is every year in kind of whatever he runs in, and he'd be my main Novice Chase. But Zana Apples Away as well, maybe at a price.
You've gone Arkle, so I'll go Turners with Grey Dawning. I think if he turns up, he wins.
Am I allowed to go Grey Dawn here? Sorry, no. Sorry, am I allowed to go Turners with Gaelic Warrior? Or am I getting kicked out again? I think
Go Turners, but you cannot bloody well go with Gaelic Warrior.
Well, why? But
Right, honestly,
I'm on at 4 to 5. He's about 25s now.
There's guys in the stands that are having their Guinness, and they're going to see him come around the bend, and they're going to absolutely cack themselves when he heads towards them in the parade ring.
Aidan, can I ask you?
No, he's not going to do that. No offences. He's not going to head towards the parade.
Right.
I don't think.
Do you not just let him go? We said last week on the Punter's Guide, that brilliant tweet was let him rip. And
Arkle, yeah. Let him rip in the Arkle. the less time he has to race for and less fences he has to jump.
Why do you ever go at my favourite horses all the time?
I don't know, it's just
Monkfish.
he's just going to need to go left. Forget to go left.
Right,
left.
Aidan,
left.
I get bullied every week.
If you look at the at Gaelic Warrior, if he's jumping at pace, he actually goes dead straight.
Yeah.
It's only
So that's why you fire him and let him go.
It's when
It's not bloody hard.
fire him out there. It's when he gets short to a fence, he'll go out right. But at
Cheltenham's a tricky
pace,
track, though.
At pace, though, I'm not sure he jumps. Obviously, jumps right. But if you watch the Dublin race, okay, it didn't end out that well. But look, if he's going at full pelt, he's going straight. If he's on if he's a full stride, if he's on a stride, he's going straight.
Get Danny Mullins
I
on
can't
him.
trust
He's
him.
not Danny Mullins.
I don't think he's doing it in
At all.
at every
No,
fence.
no.
Not over fences.
Oh, I don't know.
So we'll see.
I saw enough
look
jumps at
forward
the
to it.
DRF to say
Is that the Guinness
not for
10?
me.
This is the one that from day one I've been there. 2 seconds and
Maybe 2.5
No, I
miles,
just- I
maybe
just
2
think-
miles around Newbury.
I just think that
No, serious, no joking anymore.
no, no seriousness. They should skip Cheltenham. There's a Fairy House race is there for the taking. The Ryanair at Easter. 2 weeks later, that is there for the taking.
Yeah.
It's his.
Yeah,
You
but
want-
Rich is not buying a horse from France for all that dough, is he? And keeping it wrapped up in cotton wool and avoiding the market and everything to go. Oh, let's go and have a jog around
Seriously,
Ferry House. No disrespect, Aidan.
Seriously, what's your Novice Chaser?
I went for Henry's friend in the National Hunt.
Gaelic Warrior.
Yeah, Gaelic Warrior.
I am,
no, I'm all over Gaelic Warrior. I'm all over Gaelic Warrior.
Well, I'm going
for
for the Turners. I saw him, my own eyes. I think Iroko.
I'm sorry. This is and thank you very much to the trainers, joint trainers, for coming on. This is Kicking King Part 2, isn't it? Yeah, he's injured. Oh, really? Oh, that was 999 to 1. Oh no, he's not.
Right. You two can get lost. Aidan, handicaps. This is what we're all about.
Oh,
We're going to start with handicap chases. We can't do race by race. We're running out of time. So a broad spectrum of what your eye catches are in terms of the handicaps at prices.
I have to go. Well, my
Handicap chases, sorry.
yeah, Il Ridotto I like in that in the plate. That over the years that race has just been won and by the same horses who competed in all the races during the year. The two who beat him, or three that beat him in the two races, are going to the Ryanair. The other horse won yesterday.
Lamb's Lizard.
Yeah, won yesterday. And I mean, no one really mentioned he's running Ascot the last day in that 3 mile race, but he was out the back straight away and he was never
Non-toucher.
he was
Non-toucher.
he was never travelling. So like, and I'd say they might be disappointed he's only got £1 for that, but I think he's just going to be competitive in it. And he'll go, it doesn't matter the ground. And let's hope that with extra places, and I have a feeling he might be a bigger price because he's going to be looking at a 0 in his farm lines. But every year that race is
He's
won
consistent,
by,
isn't he?
yeah, every year that race is won by a horse who's won one of them already, been second or third. Like, just seems the same. So he'd be the most, I'd be confident enough he's going to get involved in that race.
Frankie?
In the Grand Annual, Samrois, if he turns up, he's got to carry a lot of weight, but, well, say he's got to carry a lot of weight. He'll carry the same amount of weight that he carries carries in his graded races, but it's a huge step down in terms of class, and his Cheltenham Festival form is brilliant. He was second in the champion hurdle. I think did he win an Arkle or sorry, win a
He's fourth
a
in
county,
champion
sorry,
hurdle.
yeah, won a county, second in the champion hurdle, and third in an Arkle. And he's been racing behind top class horses. He is a top class horse now in handicap, so I think he's in with a squeak. He's obviously at the top of the market, and then slightly bigger price in the same race. Path de Rue was second to Hunter's Yarn, who I like for the Arkle,
And second to Madara.
and second to Madara, when had a lot more to do before they turned home, was towards the rear of the field, missed a few early on as well, so probably had to be asked to just get up with the pace before turning home. And then Madara, who was in a much better position and had really prime position on the rail, was allowed and had more energy left to kick and go and finish the race, whereas Path de Rue probably didn't, because made hard work of it turning home. So I think he could be in the mixer in the Grand Annual.
Joel, handicap chases?
The plate, Shake 'em or Parry, third last year. Again, Pauling was there New Year's Day when he won.
Did you go to Cheltenham on New Year's Day?
I did.
Mention it
yeah. Because I'm not going this year. I'm not going this year because no one's invited me. Anyway, Shake 'em or Parry for Ben Pauling.
No, so we didn't invite him then either.
And then last week, Aidan, there was I said,
Been trying, Joe.
yeah, there's a Betfred box there, hospitality box, and there's a reason why you've never been invited. Anyway, the plates, Shake 'em or Parry, and I'll get my own tickets. Thanks very much. New Year's Day, I was there at Cheltenham and won, and I'm going for it. £3 higher.
There we are, the Shake 'em up Parry. Yeah, there's quite a few. Cromwell's been the talk of the preview circuit, how he's absolutely chucked in. Kim Muir, I know you two will laugh at this, or you'll keep an eye on this. We've all been caught off 134. Woody Twiston-Davies is quite keen on his chances. Has it always been the plan for him to jump like a snooker table and come here and win this?
I don't know. We've had this conversation,
We
haven't
have,
we?
yeah.
It's
And I
very,
just think-
if it is, it's very clever. It
Yeah, I mean, they fooled me because I just think he's not good enough.
looked like David Maxwell was on.
There was him and Broadway Boy. They were going at it. Remember that Novice Chase? And
Yeah.
there was nothing. We've all been caught, and we were like, "Why is Michael O'Sullivan coming over to ride it?" And it was all a bit
Yeah.
weird, and they got stuffed. And then but off 134 now, and Broadway Boy's what 150.
Yeah, it's a low mark, isn't it? But I think the mark is there because he's not good enough, and
Yeah.
If they turn
Some
it
of them,
around on the day, then fair play. They've
as
got to go
racing
handicap,
fans, we
but-
always look at it, don't we? And they're all at it. They're all doing a Langadan. But some of them just ain't good enough. If I've got an horse there and it's been given 18 quiet runs.
How frustrating would that be if you owned a horse and everyone's saying, "Oh, you're
Oh,
getting
yeah.
this ready," and you're like, "No,
What's
just
that
crap."
JP horse? Arcara, what's it called? Icar. Yeah. Right, I think that's been set up so many times, but it's just ain't very good.
Right, don't jump the gun. We're coming on to that. Chianti Classico as well in the Ultimate. He's been my long range pick for a while for that. I really like that.
I've got one. I've got something in the Kim Muir.
So have I.
It's an odd race, right? But there's a horse right at the, a Wave of the Sea is something like 66-1, right? Now, he was fourth in the Galway Plate only a few months ago, not that long
You with
ago.
Ben Haslam now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I think if they've any cop on, they knew sending him to the UK he's going to lose like £10, which he has done. This is his trip, maybe. He was also like third in the Kerry National or one of those. Those are really competitive races. He's down to 137. I mean, maybe I'd be always trying to find these kind of things, and maybe he'd be looking too often. But if you look at his farm, he's been a very good horse for the last couple of years.
We've put him
And
up.
no, yeah, but the time to put him up is when he's a big price, though.
Derek O'Connor in the sun.
Like,
He's going to start
it's
now
only
in
a matter
the
of-
sun. That way.
It just seems too obvious. There's another one, similar horse, a good horse, also from the Galway Plate. That's also gone to him. That's another massive price. One of the handicaps, I can't remember his name, but a Wave of the Sea looks particularly. He is well capable of competing in this kind of race off over 140, 145 even. So if it was a plan, he's so low. It's 137. It's going to be worth it, I think.
I hope it is, but I just don't think it's a plan. I just think it's very good because we put him up. Going, here we are. Here we're off today, and I think he was off, but he's just not there. Good time, Johnny, by the way, and Kim Muir. Right, 4, Tony Martin. There's not many left like trainers like this anymore, is there? Was it in the Pertemps last year, wasn't he?
Yeah, he didn't qualify for the Pertemps this year.
Yeah. Now, apart from the 4th at Aintree and the follow-up to that, after that, he's had 4 races at fairly big prices down the field. And last month, he was beaten 59 lengths at Fairyhouse in a 4-runner race.
What are you suggesting?
It's not good enough, and he normally
He's a non-toucher.
He's a non-toucher. You've got to explain this because otherwise, Aiden's going whatever. Yeah. He wasn't. Look, he was beaten there. He's been beaten the last 4 times. At big prices, not expected. But I think, I loved Tony Martin as a kid.
All right.
Don't
Don't go anywhere. Handicap hurdles. Talking of seasonal horses. Langadan. Take it away.
Well, what else does anybody need to say? What do they say in Ireland, Aidan, about Langadan? Because I know I watch your maiden hurdles every day, and there's 3 of them that are off. But 26, let's be honest.
He'd be getting a ban for that kind of thing. But I don't mind. I've only backed him twice, and once was last year, so I'm happy enough. It's just, you just have to know that he's better. There are horses that are better in the spring, and it's the stable as well. They're just good at that. I think his day was last year, and that's done now.
Do you really think? Do you not think of the same mark?
Oh, he has a great chance, but it's only about price for me. He was 12-1 last year, looked an obvious one.
He's
now
drifting a little bit, isn't he now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a tough race though, and he's getting a year older, and he's had 4 or 5 chances and won once at a price. It was 12-1, it was fine. But
although you could slate the yard for obviously setting it up for a big race, but also on the other hand, it's good training performance.
Oh, it's great if you can do it.
Do you know what I mean?
If you
to
can
get him
do
right
it
for
like
one big
that.
day.
that's the game. There's nothing really wrong with that.
Yeah.
Everyone, it's a handicap.
Exactly.
Everyone wants to get the right mark.
Yeah.
That's the whole game.
Langadang, same mark. That's what
Yeah,
we've got to say.
Langadang, good time, Johnny, in the Tony Martin, Dan Skelton, each way double.
Right, handicap hurdles.
Mentioned Milan Tito, didn't I, for the Boodles. I like a horse that's finished behind some of the Triumph contenders going to the Boodles, that has been kind of 3rd or 4th behind some Triumph contenders and then comes to the Boodle off a fair mark, which seems to be. He's obviously ran behind Burdett Road and Sagino, both at Cheltenham. So I quite like him. And then I couldn't really split Gordon Elliott's Wadhow, or however you say that one. Wadhow. And Joseph O'Brien's Cossack Shack, who were within a neck of each other. Wadhow's gone on to race more times and won easily. And I thought, might get a little bit of a better mark about Joseph O'Brien's horse, but they're rated the same. So it depends if there's more improvement left in Joseph O'Brien's than Gordon Elliott's. We've seen more of Gordon Elliott's, but for a horse that's won 5 times on the bounce, it's still fairly rated, in my opinion. So I mean, there's 3 for the same race, but Milan Tito was the selection.
Aidan?
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Frankie again.
Oh, there we
it's,
go.
It's Cossack Jack.
Yeah.
In that I like him, and I happen to be. I haven't gone to. It's the first time I went to Killarney, but I was there the time he won his first race, and he's a bit of a beast now. I'd be very happy that they're. And Joseph Wayne has a lot of 4-year-olds this year. Whichever of them that turn up are they're the right. He knows what he has. I think.
Yeah, I
and
suppose
I like Cossack Jack. He's one of my first picks this year from a good few months back. So definitely in the Boodles.
The fact that we haven't seen him as much means that
Yeah.
there is probably some
He's
more
be
left.
well capable
Yeah.
of
What price
getting one
have we got
ready.
now?
20 to 1 or 16, something like that. But on the day, you're going to get 6-7 places in that thing. So it's probably better to wait on the day. I like Gowl Road, or however you pronounce that.
Right, talk to me about Gowl Road. Again, do you know what it's like? It's like I've dropped all my papers from the last 3 years and given up on horses. You've now picked them up.
because
After I've
picking
given
them
up.
I'm picking them up, though, when they're 33 to 1.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I like Gowl Road, but
I think the Pretemps is absolutely brutal this year. I just think it's not a great race this year. Now, often it isn't because of the qualifying
I
system
agree.
anyway. But
what we need is 5 days of Cheltenham.
I think the Irish horse, I can't find an Irish horse with a chance in it because of the
Anna
handicap and who?
Anna Bonina.
He's a big price. I've tried her a few times. A big price. But I'm kind of interested in another Joseph Bryan one. It's 60 to 1, something like Prairie Dancer or something like that. But my original thing in that is Guerriero. I just think it's...
I'm having about 7 in the percentage. Gowl Road's only one of them. I'm a big fan of it.
Well, I had 7 and now I've got 8, so yeah, I'll get Gowl Road. I'll back you up on that.
I mean, is Brazil in the Carroll Cup now?
Oh, no, don't talk to me about that. Bleed north.
Yeah, but no matter what, he's going to be ready for it, though. He will be ready. And
green and gold silk.
The mark is fine, and do you know what I mean? Like he probably end up being close, and he could end up being back.
Like mine and Gaelic Warriors.
Right, we are going to wrap up. We need some best bets now. So I'm going to actually ask for Joel's Antepost pick for this week to go on our big long list, the 9th and final one.
I am going to go fast or slow in the Gold Cup.
Okay, fast or slow.
Can I have 5 to 1, please?
I don't know what price it is. Yeah, it's about 6, isn't it? Of course you can.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you very much.
Frankie.
I'm going to go rogue for the last week and go Ballyadam in the Coral Cup.
Good. Ballyadam in the Gold Cup. Okay.
Coral Cup.
Coral Cup.
Not the Gold Cup.
To be fair,
That is rogue.
He's got as much chance as winning the Gold Cup as that's the Coral Cup.
I'm going to go for Limerick Lace in the Mare's Chase. I was really impressed with her at Doncaster. And she was second in Troy Town. So, yeah, Limerick Lace in the Mare's Chase.
First time we touched the mares today.
Non-touches. Right, we will get... I'll tell you what, we'll do Naps and Next Best in shortly. So we need your lucky 15s.
What's Aidan's one?
He's going to come to his nap in a minute. And this is for our big long list that we've been doing. You know?
Big long.
Stick to the runner! Going rogue. Your festival lucky 15, please. Joel Ross.
Oh, jeez.
Frankie Foster, your lucky 15 whilst he gets it ready.
Oh,
Aidan, you're lucky.
Hunter's Yarn. I'm going to go an each way lucky 50.
Yeah.
Hunter's Yarn in the Arkle.
Yeah.
You've talked me into it. I like it when someone is on the same thinking as me. The Joseph Bryan, Cossack Jack in the Boodles.
Yeah.
Conflated in the Ryanair.
Yeah.
Ballyadam in the Coral Cup.
Okay, you're 4 against the field.
I gave it to you in the pub and I've forgotten it. I genuinely did. No, I've got it here. I've got it here. Gaelic Warrior, Turners. The crowd went wild. You ought to know in the bumper. The crowd went wild.
Worst race of the week.
Shake 'em up, Harry, Ultima. And Langadan Coral Cup. I'd like £1 each way, lucky 15, please. 30
Okay.
English pounds or euros to you.
I've caught you on the hop. Have you got a lucky 15?
Yeah, I have it here
Oh,
ready.
right, yeah, brilliant. Yeah, go on then.
Il Ridotto on the plate, Cossack Jack in the Boodles, Ethical Diamond in the Triumph fight. Sneaky feeling he could be as good
You're
as
not
any
the
the other.
only one.
Yeah, and he's a big price. And I wanted something. Tell me something, girl, in the mares. She's been ready for it all year, and I think some of the other mares aren't as good as we thought they were. Maybe like Gallimar so and that. So I'm interested in her. And they're all. I think most of those are 20 to 1 or that.
Okay.
That'll pay.
Way. Yeah, well.
I've gone for an almost green and gold one. 3/4 of my lucky 15 is green and gold.
okay.
So Iroko in the Turners. Eker Allen in the Patemps, Limerick Lace in the Mares, and then I've thrown a curveball and gone Manila Indo in the cross country. I think it's got a massive chance.
It should be. It's 2 to 1 and 15 to 8.
Not when it's on my Antepost book at 4-1 though, Joel.
Oh, fine.
That's what it's all about. Finding
I've got Gaelic Warrior at 4-5 for the Turners.
Yeah, I know. Shrewd as hell, aren't you?
Oh, and Secret Squirrel at 100s. Oh, and Joystick in the Champion Bumper at 20s. Now 200s.
Right, we've got a couple of minutes. I'm going to do Nap's next best, and I want a long shot as well. And this is where we're coming. This is where you're going to read your call now. Right, we will go. Yeah, we'll go right to left. So, Joel, Nap of Cheltenham Festival 2024, please.
You ought to know. Bumper. No, I'm joking, by the way. Gaelic Warrior, Turners.
You having a laugh?
No, genuinely. 100% genuine.
How many did you have before you came here?
Just well, half. I was late. Gaelic, right. When people don't agree with you and you start fighting, it's a game of opinions, is what people say.
Yeah.
Gaelic Warrior.
I'm really sorry about him.
Stupid price, Turners. As Aidan said,
It's not stupid. It's a stupid price. It's about what price is it?
6s, 7s.
Where's the zero?
But it's a game of opinions. It's a game of
I
opinions.
can sit on the fence here. Well, I won't back him.
That's
no
like
way.
Gaelic Warrior.
They write all this stuff in the pub. do you have Rainbow in Ireland? Bungle and Zipper here. Yeah, Gaelic Warrior is my nap of the week.
Brilliant
I can't wait to see your faces afterwards.
This is going to get replayed out in again.
Yeah.
Nap of the festival, please, Frankie.
Hunter's Yarn and the Arkle.
Don't give him an hard time.
I quite like that one. That's why. Aidan, sorry.
I mean, Naps, the kind of prices I'm going for. I like it absurd. And the ground is hopefully going to be good. And I'd probably prefer if we went to Supreme each way on good ground. But I'd be happy with the county, either of them.
Let's say Nap. Yeah, your best bet then.
Yeah, that's my best bet. Yeah, I like it.
Same thing,
absurd,
innit?
yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I'm going to go from Nelarindo in the cross country. That was a heck of a run in December on a massive weight, and a Gold Cup winner, class well out in the cross country. Next best, Gaelic Warrior as well.
Well, it'll be Langer down, won't it? But I'm going Shake 'em Up Harry in the Ultima.
Okay, next best.
Tupu for the stairs. Think he wins.
Il Ridotto on the plate.
Okay, I'm going to go for Iroko in the Turners, I think. And
Hopefully he's a lot better after his time off.
Idiot. And I'm going to go for a long shot, please, Joel. Gaelic Warrior.
After one fencing running. Can you get me a prize for National Hunt Novice Chase, please, for Henry's friend? Somebody shout it over to me. Sorry, he's on Tinder. Henry's friend for Ben Pauling. We'll get a few places. It'll be double
He's
figure.
16, 16.
Thank you very much from
14
the
to
floor.
1.
Yeah, I hope you got a match over there. 16. 16, yeah, I really like that. I think Ben Pauling have a
Yeah,
great...
swiping anywhere. Remember
Yeah,
there.
so, yeah.
It's your long shot, Frankie.
Ballyadam, Coral Cup, ran in the last two counties, was 6 lengths off State Man, giving away a bit of weight, was 4 lengths off the winner last year, has raced behind Irish point over 3. I think the intermediate trip might suit, and he's still reasonably weighted, I think a pound down from last year.
There's long shot value. We need a decent
Yeah.
long shot. I mean, how many is there?
I wouldn't go with the handicaps yet because you want the extra place. And the same with this. I think Champ, you want the extra place. I think there's going to be 4 places on that stairs hurdle, and Champ is a massive price. And he's going to be involved in the finish. So at kind of 50 to 1, looks like good value.
His last race, do you think?
Probably, but it doesn't really matter. He'll be trying anyway for sure.
Oh, yeah,
It's
so
big,
that's
even to bring him back at all, because he means a lot to some of the. I just think it's there's nothing between him and Paisley Park and any of those others, and he's had 2 easier races this year. So I'll go for Champ each way and wait until you get your 4 places or whatever. Yeah.
Fair enough. I'm going to go for Fugitive in the Ryanair course special. I think he could run on into a place. He's around about 20 to 1 at present. Thank you, gents.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Good fun.
And I must have said, actually, we've touched it very quickly, Ethical Diamond. He's been a sleeper, hasn't he?
Yeah, and although on another watch of that race, Cartest won that pretty well now. It's one of the, I think Sergino's a bit of a lay for me at the festival. But watching the race again, Ethical Diamond is probably the second best out of that Leopardstown race, but might have more improvement. So I'd be happy with that. I'm hoping not every I'm hoping to get 25 to 1 or 20 to 1 on the day. Because he'd be the 3rd choice or 4th choice of the Willie Mullins, so it could go even bigger price,
Interesting.
I like him anyway.
There we are then. The Ethical Diamond is very interesting indeed if you watch that race back from Leopardstown. Thank you, gents, for joining us.
Thank you.
It's been emotional, isn't it, at the end of the road,
Oh,
literally.
I'm hoping for success when I go head to head against you because my Antepost book is a bit miserable, but we'll get there on the day.
Yeah, mine's cracking.
I'm just hoping that I make it after this. So I'm gone for 9 months. So I get binned off, and they bring Jason Weaver in, and then I come back a few years older. I come back looking like Lulu next year.
Willie, I don't like Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah.
With somebody's hand up your backside. Right, yes. Enjoy the road to Cheltenham. It's been emotional the last 14 weeks. It's been brilliant. Hopefully, we've put in the direction of some winners over the most fantastic and important 4 days of a punter's Christmas. We cannot wait for Cheltenham 2024 to get underway with that famous roar.